Hey, what's going on, everybody? I know this is a kind of Oh, brother, I got like a freaking bug on my wall over here. What am I, in a freaking roach motel? I gotta smash that little dude when I'm done with this. Um, I'm kind of doing this last minute. I was gonna set it up for later, but I'd rather use the window right now between the delay for the Xfinity Series race. Chicago Street Course. I also have to use. This is the first time I've been on Twitter today. I couldn't even use Twitter yesterday. I was so pissed. Everything Elon is doing is very very dumb. So let me tweet this out before nobody can see it again. NASCAR Chicago. All right. And we can talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So it's a real shame that we didn't even get to see the end of yesterday's race. Make sure this link works. Go on, talking NASCAR DFS. It's a shame that we didn't get to see the end of yesterday's race because I really wanted to see how the drivers would do once the race, once we got knee deep in the actual race and everything like that. So that really sucks. When we're looking at the Chicago race today, my strategy is still I'm probably gonna do 3 lines. I'm probably gonna play 2 that are really chalky, playing a ton of place differential in the back, hoping for just absolute chaos. And I'll probably do 1 chasing guys up front. I really like Larson. If you're chasing people who are gonna be up front, yes, Reddick and Hamlin make a lot of sense. I really like Larson. We might see a very big discount in ownership for Larson. He messed up his lap at the end of qualifying. It's Kyle Larson, for crying out loud, at a discounted rate. So if you're chasing guys up front, I really do like Larson. I need to get this freaking. Let me rant, or not rant, but let me talk real fast as people get in here, since I just kind of threw this up. Yesterday, the overlay, the late start that DraftKings had. I have to assume that it was because Twitter was down. Last time it happened, it was Portland last year, and that was off by 5 minutes because NASCAR moved the starting time up like super short notice. But the fact that the race started and then the contests for the Xfinity Series still had 20 minutes until they started, they caught a lot of it way better than last time. They made it to where you just couldn't build lines after the race. If you had lines already uploaded, you could enter those, but past that you couldn't enter anything. You couldn't void out a line. Like if you had Justin Marks trying to get them out last minute, DraftKings didn't let you. I will say the thing that got me in trouble yesterday, because I have $230 on a race I didn't even want to play much of, because I was chasing the overlay, and I was chasing the fact that I was hoping that people would get in there, and so I threw in my 5 lines that are complete wreckfest stuff. I can't get any news, so I have Josh Williams and 4 of those fuckers because I can't get any news that he's in the garage. Okay, I want to have more lines in the small $10 because I'm running out of time. It's probably a minute before the green flag goes. I know if I get these lines in, DraftKings they're not gonna avoid these, but they're gonna avoid anybody else. So there's a good chance that small $10 becomes like a 50-50. Let me go in Saber Sound. I'm gonna remove all the top 10 starters, run it, pulled 5 lines. 4 of those had Justin Marks in them. So I need complete chaos to even get my 230 back for the Xfinity Series race. I'm hoping it gets chaotic with this rain, but that really fucking blows. I think I've gotten in more trouble chasing overlay than anything else. No matter what it is, if there's overlay, I usually just start throwing lines in those contests, and they never work, man. We got fucked yesterday with Marks blowing that motor and Williams being 3 laps down now. We'll see how it goes. I need complete chaos for the Xfinity Series race. When we're looking at the Cup Series. Oh, and, man, dude, I got second in F1 today. Still lost $30 on the slate, so that just fucking blows. And I lost LOL late, 4 stat corrections later. I waited 30 minutes. Finally tune in. Finally luck. Went from 6th to 30th, man. Or 4th from 30th. So we just had some bad breaks the last 24 hours. Currently, right now, I have Tyler Reddick as my highest projected driver, followed by Denny Hamlin. And then with Larson, Truex, and Chastain in that order. I think it's very important to see where everybody's coming in on the chalk. with Chastain, Harvick, Haley, and Stenhouse. I got Chastain for 47. Or 47.45. I got Harvick for 38.9. Justin Haley for 31. Ricky Stenhouse for 34. Due to that, depending on what happens in this race, you either need those guys because they're going to be outscoring several people, because a lot of people are going to score in the 20s today. We're going to have a lot of people probably like, good old Joseph Logano, Bowman, Wallace, Blaney, Keselowski, Jones, Eric Almirola, Todd Gilliland. A lot of these guys are probably going to be scoring, mid to low 30s to high 20s. Dude, this bug has flown from over there to over here, and he's just taunting me. I'm about to ruin that guy's life when the stream is over. So, projection-wise, the dead zone. Here, let's move this over. Let's get this on screen so we can kind of go over this together. I am absolutely capping myself at fucking 3 lines today. I'm not getting involved in this race like I did yesterday, because I am very pissy about that. Let me move. Look at this. All right, we're in business. We're in business. I got my mic. Yeah, okay, cool. My mic is not muted either. So when we look at the dead zone, the big old L's, the big old losers, outside of chaotic builds, and a lot of these guys I don't see really working, even if the race gets super duper chaotic. The dead zone is probably these drivers here. I'm going to say right here, these guys are dead on arrival. Okay? So if you're playing place differential, I would encourage you, because this race is only 100 laps, Custer's led the entire fucking race for Xfinity. I'm hoping he just gets ass blasted and dumped at this point in the race. But that's 25 laps led, 45 fast lap points. We're probably, if this is like the Xfinity Series race to where they're kind of throwing yellows for any little incident, we're probably going to see maybe 60 green flag laps. That's 27 fast lap points. Combined with 25. If that leader ends up getting taken out, then it is going to default to place differential, or it's going to be just that one leader. And so in terms of leaders, Hamlin, Reddick makes the most sense. Gisberg, I have him just over value, but does he hold up on it? Do these guys just absolutely ruin his day? I don't feel like, a lot of these guys in Project 91 are paying attention to how drivers are racing their fellow, road ringers and stuff. But I think Shane is going to get used up. We see that typically in everybody's first race. Kimmy got used up. Jensen Button got used up. Jordan Taylor got used up. All these guys say like their first race, they're never anticipating the aggression from these guys. So that's a concern about Zane. We know Bell's a good road course racer. So really Hamlin, Reddick, or Bell should be your favorites for the win. If you're betting, if you're building to have the race winner in your lineup outside of them dumping the leader, those are the guys who can legit win this race. Toyota is in charge of this race. Not just from the starting grid, but Toyota has a lot of money in this race. NASCAR is probably going to, they're probably like, hey, Bubba Wallace, you're supposed to get the pole. What the fuck you doing starting 14th? We can't really rig it for you to win this race, my guy. Probably going to have to give it to one of the other Toyotas. But those are my 3 guys that I have projected to win the race. Outside of that, the first non-Toyota guy is Larson, and then Truex. Those are my top 5 guys that I would anticipate potentially winning this race. When we're looking at lineups, on a first run basis, also I gotta use Twitter sparingly. I'm like being fucking rationed over here. Back in a lightning hold. Kill. Okay, so that's pushed down back even more. I have really changed a lot on this Chicago race. I was never really like super duper against it, but I'm a fan of this Chicago race. I like that it's just instant death for any car. I like that we got crime and chaos going on. We got people street racing. We got people. I mean, I actually like the crime affiliation with Chicago in this race. Oh man, dude, Gus, man, if you're climbing up a ladder and you hear something splatter, diarrhea. If you're walking down the hall and you hear something fall, diarrhea. It's not fun, Gus. I'm gonna put on 95 for T5. Oh, I wasn't even trying to shit on SG or SVJ there. That was, I didn't even see your comment. That was just my main thing there. I was hoping that Justin would surprise me and be great. I mean, Justin. Oh, Haley. At least I'm assuming you're talking Justin. I don't know what you're talking about. Past that. Well, yeah. What's up, Tom? Yeah, which isn't. I still lost $30 on the slate. I mean, any idiot can. That's like. So I've won F1 twice this year. I've had the optimal lineup twice, technically 3 times because I entered the optimal twice in one contest. But I finished first in F1 twice this year. I finished third. I finished with the second or third best line. That might be the 5th or 4th time this year. But I mean, if you don't finish first, you're not making money unless you enter like 1 or 2 lines. So unfortunate there. And then for whatever reason, I feel way better like being like, oh, I won this, oh, I did this when it's not a NASCAR or when it's not a sport that I cover. Like I very rarely ever show off with like NASCAR stuff, but if it's anything else, I'm like, yeah, that's me, man. Yeah, come in Discord, we'll talk about it. Yeah. Thoughts on Bowman? The Showman, man, $7,800. He's got a decent chance at value, man. It really is. So I got nearly the entire field for at least one fast lap. I think that's a fair thing to do. I don't have the only guys I'm giving laps led to are starting inside the top 8. So like I have like Suarez projected to lead 2 laps. I got McDowell projected to lead 3. I got Button projected to lead 2. Because we see Rick Ware try and play strategy sometimes with these guys. Now, especially the Rick Ware's performing well. Shout out to Cody for not racing. But Rick Ware is running fairly decent. I didn't realize Andy Lally wasn't even in this race until I was like pulling fucking lap times yesterday. I was like, dude, Andy Lally's in this motherfucking race? What the hell is that? I don't know, man. Let's highlight these guys, like realistically, who you can play, who's. I hate to just start highlighting fucking everyone here. This is the pool of drivers I would recommend. Everybody in green. Yellow, I don't really have a specific take. I don't hate them, but I probably won't get to them. Like I said, I'm only doing 3 lines. And probably 2 of those 3 are probably going to be built from 16th on back. But as I said, I like Larson. If you're chasing guys up front, I think he's going to be lower owned compared to other guys. Now, yes, he's 10-6, but like even then, salary isn't that big of an issue. You're either using like all of it, or you're leaving like 1,500, 2,000 on the table. That's really what it's looking like in terms of lineups. Like a lot of early protected lines, specifically ones that are targeting people up front. I probably won't. I mean, maybe. I don't know, man. I really don't want to just throw money at this race, specifically if it's going to be delayed, if it's going to rain, if it's going to do dumb shit. I want to buy Atlanta tickets, so I just want to withdraw my fucking money from DraftKings and just fucking buy tickets to Atlanta. If you look at it based on other road courses this year, and passing just hasn't been able to do it, projection-wise, my highest projected lineup currently has 4 top 10 starters and all 6 in the top 20. It's not chasing the place differential in the back. It is going to be difficult for Chastain to get through the field. Harvick, Haley, Stenhouse. Like, this is going to be a slugfest all day. And you need strategy. I would not be shocked to see us on lap 12 and Chastain is 27th. Like, it is. There's no passing at this racetrack. That's what it is. So if you believe that this race goes green with no incidents, nobody getting stupid, nobody dive bombing, I would not play the chalk in the back. I look at it like these cars are made of styrofoam. You breathe on these things wrong. You don't even have to hit the wall with the front end. You just, swing wide, hit some rubber. Maybe we're still racing in the rain. You brake the left rear, and you're done. You brake the left rear, and somebody ass packs you from behind, and now we got 2, 3, 4 cars involved in a wreck. I would just prefer to build for wrecks. That's just where I'm at. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Heard from the grapevine that we got a good chance of this race not happening next year. We got a real chance at Montreal next year being announced as the replacement for this race. That is the talk in the industry. And if anybody's like, well, what's your source? I'm talking to people who work with NASCAR and multiple tracks, hearing the shit show that this has been. NASCAR was pissed yesterday when Chicago forced them to push everything back. There is you can feel the tension in the air. I would expect a Montreal date. Unless something happens on Montreal's end, I would expect the first international NASCAR event to be held this weekend next year. You heard that from me first. Let's see, what else? I don't know. That's really it, man. I think this is still a terrible thing to put money on. Yo, what's going on, Taylor? What's going on, Clutch? Clutch, I'm so sorry I missed your super draft yesterday. As soon as it ended, I saw that it popped up. I'm so sorry about that, but thank you for the support yesterday, Clutch. Hamlin said he thinks there would be passing in an interview after winning pole. I mean, there's going to be passing, whether it's on pit lane, whether it's wrecking. Do I think it's going to happen under green? I don't see it. Did you see it yesterday? Did you see any passing yesterday? No, not at all. There's no passing at all on the track. It's going to be done through strategy, through yellows, through crashes. That's where I'm at. Even Custer, like when you listen to the interviews that Custer gave yesterday, he doesn't know how people are racing. Nobody's been beside him at this entire racetrack. He was saying, because people were asking, what's it like racing here, and he's like, I haven't seen anybody. I don't know what they're doing in the field. And you talk to, I think it was Barry or Sam Mayer, I don't remember who it was, but they were like, yeah, like the restarts are bad because you take the choose cone on the straightaway before you get there. There's such a huge checkup from everybody choosing. By the time the leader takes the green, we saw this in nearly every restart yesterday. There's maybe 8 to 11 lines like at the restart zone when they took the green. Everybody else is coming over the bridge, and so unless NASCAR asked them to really, where'd the bug go now? Dude, I feel like whatever. I'm trying to at least track the dude so I know where he's at when I get done here. So unless NASCAR asked them to get that under control, there's a real chance like 28th isn't even the fucking straightaway that the restart zone is on when the leader is taking off. So that's a big thing there. Why are SaberSim's ownership so bad? I like SaberSim as an optimizer. I never even look at SaberSim's ownership at all. If you know it's wrong, then don't even just SaberSim is an excellent lineup optimizer. I'm not using them for their ownership projections. I don't use them for their projections. I use them. So which projections are still bad across the board. I don't know. Roto Grinders is probably still popping off somebody who isn't even important. People were talking Lando for F1. I had 0 Lando Norris today. Didn't need him. The builds just didn't. I didn't understand why people were playing Lando, man. None of the builds landed on Lando. Like, who the fuck's playing Lando Norris? Like, if you're playing him, you're clearly not building optimally. Like, you don't land in that area. So we've seen a lot of bad ownership in F1, a lot of bad ownership in NASCAR, at least projection wise and stuff like that. So I don't even pay attention to real ownership projections. IndyCar predicts Mid-Ohio for anyone. Oh, I don't fucking know, dude. IndyCar fucking sucks ass, dude. Best thing that happened to IndyCar was Pagano flipping yesterday, and then the F2000 flipping, and then the Fatal Wreck and Spa. That's the best open wheel can do. I only watch the Indy 500 and that's it. Well, I watch the ovals too. I watch Texas, but they don't go to ovals no more, so I don't give a flying shit about IndyCar. I thought it was strange when he said it. Wanted to hear your opinion. Yeah, at least that's my opinion there for what Hamlin said. Hamlin feeling games with the fans and field. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on Hamlin in this race. You know, you got Jordan, you got Toyota, you got 2311. Like this is a Toyota weekend. I haven't seen McDonald's. When was the last time you saw McDonald's throw this much money in sponsorship? Okay, yeah, sure. They've been on Bubba Wallace for a long time. I haven't seen a McDonald's sponsorship at a racetrack in forever. And the fact that you see McDonald's plastered around this track, like Toyota has so much pressure here. If NASCAR just wants to get out of here and not piss everybody off, they're going to give the win to Toyota, man. They're going to help them Toyotas out. But yeah, that's it. Keselowski is a really, really interesting play. I don't know if anybody's going to play him. I really like Buescher. In terms of guys, if you outside of craziness, because we got to separate both those approaches, I think Keselowski and Buescher make really, really nice plays in both situations. If you want to play Byron, I would play Keselowski. If you want to play Ty Gibbs, Bowman, Wallace, I would play Chris Buescher. If you want to play Truex, I would play Chris Buescher. I really, really like Buescher, Keselowski, and Larson today, based purely on ownership, purely on builds. I think that makes a lot of sense. Those are really my three lanes, man. And I didn't even have them projected that well. I just like where they're kind of falling in ownership and stuff. Let's see, what else? Oh man, I can't go on Twitter. I click. We're looking at a 10:45 resumption for the Xfinity Series race. I can't click on Twitter, man. I just can't do it. I can't use my rations this early. I mean, man, I don't know. I mean, past that, past that, I don't really think there's much to talk about, you know? Yesterday's race, we didn't really learn anything. We learned that the fucking yellows are 15 minutes again. We didn't really see anybody race. You know, everybody's just kind of taking their time. We saw Dexter Bean try and kill himself with Sam Mayer in qualifying, but that was mainly it. We have nothing to really go off of. We have nothing. We saw like wheel hops and stuff, but I think it's just going to get even more wild if it's raining here. Remember that first race at the Roval? The fact that this track has way more grip than all these teams thought is a bit of a danger, because you keep having these guys, you know, push themselves, like they're flying through these corners. Any bobble specifically for the Cup Series, and I don't know why I'm even talking this feeling like that shit's locked. So like the Cup Series, if you bottom out at all, I mean you're upsetting the car, you're fucking wrecking. That can happen to anyone at any time. I think you just play light. Personally, for me, I'm gonna play guys in the back and just sit back and watch the chaos. This is not a race. I don't think that sweat would be fun at all. This would be a horrific sweat if you had like Hamlin, Reddick, you know, Button, Brad Keselowski. Like you got 6 guys in the top 20. That sweat would fucking suck, dude. That would not be fun at all. And that's that's really it. You know, I've been live for 24 minutes now. I don't really think there's much more to say. This is probably gonna get a lot of views, but I just play light. I really, from the word, I just don't see us coming back. I really thought it would, but there's just been such a headache with everybody involved. Word on the street is we go to Montreal next year. That's what I'm hearing from everybody I know on the inside. I think that's about it. If you have any questions, tweet at me on Twitter, because I can at least see notifications. I can see mentions. Or if you're in the Discord, you can ask me questions. If you want to support me, support the work that we do here, support the rants and everything, you can join the Patreon, or you can donate directly through the PayPal link in the description below. And that's really it, guys. Best of luck. Just try and get through this race without losing too much money, and let's move on to Atlanta. And I'll see you guys later.